Hey, what's going on, guys? It's a new week for Eden in the state's 800 range. I have a farm account in the 800 states, so I actually have access to the new pools, but this is likely the pool that every other state is going to see once we enter our doomsday season. It's week 2, batch 2. This is the profit batch, so let's get into it. So I have the picture over here, took a screenshot of it. But these are all the heroes. We have Prophet, the Shadow, Wrath, Glutton, Canoness, the Lone Wolf, Kamikaze, Nomad, Kosher, Heaven's Redemption, Crusher, and the Patriot. Pretty interesting list. We kind of got some of everything, fighter, shooter, vehicles. And of course, we have the new hero Prophet. So she's a support fighter. I talked about her in a couple videos. I have a first impressions on Prophet, so check that out. Who knows, we might see that I'm right, we might see I'm completely wrong. I've yet to really see any battle reports of Prophet actually being actively used. I'm not sure if that's because more people spent their tickets on Huntress, probably, because it was the first and people get excited. But in any case, I really just haven't seen many battle reports of Prophet. So unfortunately, just like last time, I'm going to have to give her a question mark. Now, this isn't a bad thing. I'm just not going to sit here and say that I know. I've done zero testing, and I don't know that there's that many people who have actually done that much testing. But Prophet seems really, really strong and honestly a little bit game-breaking. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. But she seems very, very good. And it looks like she just directly counters healers, which is totally, totally meta. I mean, TP, Kami, Cannon, I think they tried to do that with Wrath, but it clearly didn't work. And so now they're just going all in for Prophet. And I think she might either be overpowered or just very, very, very strong. So I'm not going to talk about her too much. I don't know any combos to go with her. I don't know how strong she is. She might be completely broken and suck. She might be completely broken and be crazy good. Who the hell knows? So let's move on. We have the Shadow. Now the Shadow gets a lot of shit talk, I guess. Excuse my language. But he's probably about a 2. He's definitely not a 1 anymore. He's around a 2, maybe even a 2.5. He's okay with Shadow Tracker Nomad is really the only combo that he's been, pretty successful in. He's actually quite good in that combo. I've used him in my latest Oblivion video. Not video. I didn't ever upload that, and I never will. But in my latest Oblivion battle, I used Shadow Tracker Nomad over Hung Tracker Nomad. It's just a pretty interesting combo, and it beats some of the combos that Hung Tracker Nomad doesn't. Some people have tried flexing Shadow in the middle. Varying results. A 2 basically means if you don't have other heroes, you'll probably use him. But he's not amazing, and hopefully he'll be replaced. We'll see. So let's move on. We have Wrath. Now, Wrath is a 4 for sure. He's probably potentially the best hero in the game. He's a vehicle support hero, meaning he generally goes in the middle row. But he kind of just lines up with every single hero, every single combo. He goes all vehicles, totally fine. He does fighters and vehicles, totally fine. He goes well with Hummingbird. He goes well with literally everybody, even healers. So it's just really, really good. His reflecting armor is just crazy strong. It's a really, really cool mechanic. And his Thunder Fury is definitely not bad. Again, they tried to, I believe, counterattack healers with Wrath, but it wasn't enough. It's 25%. So they just bumped Prophet's up at 70%. Prophet's going to be good, I hope. So Wrath is a 4/4, probably the best single hero in the game. I don't know. I mean, Tech Priestess is up there. Death Rider is really, really great. Nomad's really good. But Wrath is certainly up there. He kind of edged out Kamikaze. I used to think Kamikaze was the 3rd best Season X hero after Death Rider and Nomad. Now Wrath is definitely top 3. So let's move on. We have Glutton or Gluttony. Glutton's been around for a while. He's a 3. He's kind of always been in the meta, sort of. At the moment, he's sort of half in the meta. I'm not sure why his skills won't appear. At the moment, he's kind of half in the meta. You sort of run him on 3rd or 4th APCs or even 5th APCs. He's not in kind of your top 3 or top 2 APCs that most people run. Because he's a 3, most people are just running 4/4/4s usually in those top combos, or they're just really, really good combinations. One of the problems with Glutton is he really has to be in the front row. He just doesn't do well if he's not in the front row, and that really hurts him. If he could be flexed middle or even back row like Canon S, I think he'd be really, really good. But at the moment, he's kind of just a 3. He does a ton of healing. He has the counter attack, which is kind of cool. A lot of his ability comes to this clear-minded stuff, or a lot of his usability is for clear-minded, so it's really good with people like Hummingbird or Scarlet Siren. Things like that. I think a really good combo is Glutton, Cannon, Siren. I think it works really well, and you don't have to use Tech Priestess. Obviously, Tech Priestess goes good with everybody, as we all know, but you can do Glutton, Cannon, Siren, and it works really well on offense. So let's move on. Next up, we have Cannon S. Now, yes, I go back and forth with Cannon S all the time, but in the current meta, Cannon S is a 3. Honestly, when Prophet comes out, she'll probably go back to a 2, so don't hate me. She does change with the meta, and she's like always sort of on the cusp of really good or like good, very like great and okay. Right now she's a 3. She goes well with a lot of combos, honestly. She goes well with TP, Wrath, Nomad, Glutton, Kamikaze, Death Rider. Honestly, most of like the good heroes, she kind of fits in. She's just sort of a plug and play hero. And she's going to do well. Her heals are still fantastic. They're crazy good. She still has good suppression, 70%, so it's nice. She is susceptible to CC, however, which kind of sets her off a little bit, but she's definitely a 3, and she's a pretty solid 3 at that in today's meta. Again, Prophet might change things with Cannon S. I honestly think Prophet might set Cannon S back. I'm not really sure. However, Prophet's also susceptible to CC, so you might have to pair her with somebody like Glutton to sort of protect her. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, let's move on. I'm speeding through a little bit quickly because there are a ton of heroes in this pool, and I want to talk about whether you should use her tickets or not, because that's the main question people have. So anyway, let's move on. Next up, we have the Lone Wolf. Sorry, Lone Wolf, but you're a 1. She's a ranged fighter, meaning she's supposed to go in the back row. She's supposed to be like a damage-heavy fighter, but she's really just not. She's really just kind of bad. She just doesn't do enough of anything. I mean, Tech Priestess, Glutton, Lone Wolf is okay. Glutton, Cannon, Lone Wolf is okay. Siren is just all around better than her. And in most cases, you don't just use full fighters. So, sorry, Lone Wolf, but you're a 1, maybe a 1.5, but we don't do points, or we don't do decimals, we just do whole integers, so she's a 1. Anyway, moving on, we have Kamikaze. So Kamikaze is still definitely a 4 out of 4. Really solid hero. I just talked about him in the token shop, and I have tons of lineups for Kamikaze, or like good lineups. I also talk about his skill order, so if you haven't seen that video, make sure to check it out. It was the just previously uploaded video, February P1 token shop video, but Kamikaze is really good. Again, he was kind of like in my top 3. Now he might be top 4, but still, I mean, top 4 heroes, still pretty damn amazing. So definite 4 out of 4. Let's continue. Next up, we have Nomad. Now, Nomad's a 4 out of 4 as well. Obviously, he's kind of like the best shooter in the game at the moment. Kind of just single hero. He just does so much damage. And if you don't have Nomad, you're pretty susceptible. Vehicles are really strong, and Nomad's basically the only answer you have against vehicles. Like I said before, in a couple videos back, pretty much all the vehicle heroes are really strong. It was actually in the Huntress video, so in the last batch 1. I say that Huntress being a vehicle hero makes her better just because vehicles are so good right now, and that still holds true, and it will continue to hold true. Nomad is basically the answer. So if you don't have Nomad, unfortunately, you become a little bit weaker, actually quite a lot weaker. I would know. I struggled with this. I could never get my Nomad copies, and I know others can't as well. I'm sorry, guys. He's not in the token shop. He should have been, but the devs hate us, so it goes to show how good Nomad really is. Anyway, let's move on. We have Kosher. Kosher is a 2. He has a solid kit, and in the beginning of Season X, he was actually pretty good. He was used a lot. Kosher and a Nomad was a really good combo. It's still a pretty solid combo, especially if you don't have these other heroes. It's still good. It still really performs well. Unfortunately, he just gets replaced, and that's kind of what a 2 means. but he does okay. He's a defensive archer, meaning he should go in the front row, but you can actually flex him anywhere, and it doesn't really matter. You can put him in the middle. You can even put him in the back row. I've done it before. Combos like Glutton Cannon, Kosher, Iron Sentinel Cannon, Kosher, stuff like that. He works fine in the back. But really good combos is, yeah, Kosher and a Nomad, Kosher Deus Ex Nomad, Deus Ex Kosher Nomad, etc., etc. Really, it's just Kosher and Nomad are kind of like two peas in a pod. But most people use Nomad with Tracker instead of Kosher, so it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on. We have Heaven's Redemption. Heaven's Redemption is a solid 3. Really good 3, like a 3.5. But again, we don't do decimals, so a 3. Yeah, he's just a really good vehicle hero. Pretty much 90% of his combos are vehicle combos, which isn't good nor bad. It's just because vehicles, again, are really good, so I mean, it's perfect that he goes with them, and he also does things that other vehicles don't do. He recovers troops, he has a lot of CC, and he basically just buffs his team to take less damage, which, again, isn't really what vehicles do too often. So he's a really good hero. 3, if you get him, you should be happy. He's good. He can be used with Kamikaze, with Death Rider most often, with Ivan, and like honestly pretty much all the vehicle heroes. It doesn't really matter. He's not used too often in mixed combinations, unfortunately. Maybe he should be more, and people just haven't really come up with some good ones. There are like a couple good ones. You can flex them with some of the other good heroes, but it's nothing that like stands out that's like, oh my god, this combo is fantastic. So he's a 3. Anyway, let's continue to move on. We have Crusher. So Crusher's a vehicle hero. Unfortunately, he's a 2. He's probably the worst vehicle hero in the game. Season X vehicle hero in the game. Honestly, even like season 3 through maybe even season 2 through seasons X, he's one of the worst. He's better than season 1 at least. But he's kind of just a bad version of Kamikaze. I mean, he heals a ton. He really heals a lot in the front row. But yeah, he's just like not that good all around. He's kind of just a nice meat shield. And again, you can play him with really anybody. You can do like Crusher, Heavens, Death Rider, I don't know, Crusher and Ivan. Usually he'll go in like the second vehicle combo if you don't have, some of the other good vehicle heroes, or even the third if you're running 3. But he's not a terrible option. I'm actually running him right now. I'm doing Crusher, Caesar, Countdown. Sometimes I flex Crusher, Vanguard, Countdown in like my 3rd vehicle combo, or like whatever. He's not great. He's a 2. And then finally we have the Patriot. Patriot's a 1. He's a really bad hero. He's okay for tiles actually, so there's that to consider, which I do talk about in his token shop video. But overall, I just decided to give him a 1. I don't want to give people a false sense of like hope for using the Patriot. He's really bad. I mean, season 4 shooters are just all around better than him. And pretty much every single season X shooter is better than him as well, including Shadow. So if you get Patriot, it's nothing to like be excited for. I have 15 copies of Patriot. I've recruited 15 copies of Patriot. So go me, go devs. If you see this video, I don't want Patriots ever again. But I'm sure I will actually be probably getting him, because I will be drawing for this pool when it comes out in our states in probably 2 weeks. Okay, so that's about it. As you can see, all of these heroes have their score except for Prophet's a question mark. This pool overall gets a score of 66. Now, it's not a great pool, just in general, based on the heroes, but it's a really bad pool in terms of it's too big. There are 12 heroes here. There's a 4 times chance on Prophet. I'm 85% sure of that. Technically, it wasn't said. There wasn't a mail that was said, hey, there's a 4 times chance on this hero. But if there wasn't, people wouldn't be maxing out Prophet for like 4,000 tickets, even more than 4,000 tickets. And it would have been the same for Huntress. So I'm 85% confident that there's a 4 times chance on these pools, which means you should be able to max out Prophet in 1,250-ish tickets. It's a lot of tickets. If this is your first Season X, I probably wouldn't go for this. Wrath, Nomad, and Kamikaze being here definitely pushes it up. But if you don't have like 4,000 tickets, you're probably not going to max them. I would prefer to wait 2 weeks, go for the profit pool. That's a pool of 6, so half as much. And if you use like 1,500 or 1,250 or something, tickets like that, you'll probably max them all, or at least you'll get pretty close to maxing them all. It'd be a lot closer than having a bunch of unusable heroes as such. A viewer kindly sent me his hero recruitment for the Huntress pool. I will be uploading that now that we're on the next week. The only reason I didn't want to upload it prior is because I didn't want people to think, okay, this is how my recruitment's going to go. It's not. It's anecdotal, but I just think it's pretty interesting for people to know. He has like 5,000 tickets, so definitely not like a normal, amount of tickets. And he used 2,500 in the Huntress pool, and he'll be using 2,500 again in the Profit pool. So it does give you a pretty good idea of how these pools kind of can go. So in any case, I wouldn't go for this pool unless you really, really want profit. If you just want profit, or you have a ton of tickets and this is your first Season X, go for it. If you want profit, you have like 1,000 tickets and you just need like maybe one copy of Nomad, or like one of Kami, or one of Wrath to max out, but you want profit, then go for this pool. I'm going to be going for this pool. I don't need any of the other heroes here. I want profit, and I want one copy of, I believe, I need one copy of Shadow and one copy of Wrath. If I don't get them, I really don't care, but I just want profit. So I'll be going for this pool, but my situation is completely different than most. I have like 2,500 tickets just to go for the new heroes. So yeah, if I didn't whale it out on the last couple of cumulative purchases, I would certainly not be going for this pool. So that's about it. Let me know your guys' situation. Let me know if you want to go for the pool. Great. The game thinks I'm a bot account because I'm on my little farm. There we go. Some sick diamonds. All right. Anyway, yeah, let me know your situation. Let me know how many tickets you have, how many copies of these heroes you have. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Have fun. Good luck if you're going for the pool. Let me know what you get. I appreciate it. All right. Take care, guys. Peace. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that.